What's up, Dilio? Coming to you another video, and back on the MPC platform 2.10. We're messing with the way. This is like my favorite plugin out of all of those. Now, you could almost call them close neck to neck to the Hype synthesizer, neck and neck with this, but because this one really sounds the best, like this was probably like the analog synthesizer emulation I was waiting for. This thing sounds great. So let's go over the signal flow of it. So on this first page, we have our oscillators there. You can tune them coarse, and then you have the semitones that you can, or the fine tuning. You got different things you can do if you wanted to change your oscillator into a pulse. And then you can also modify that as well on both of those. And then on the next platform, we do have our envelopes. You can apply these things. And that's the thing about this, is that everything sort of mixes into each other basically on how you set the faders. So what I'm going to do is sort of make like a funky bass sound, okay? So one thing I don't like with analog synthesizers that are on computers, that they always start you off with velocity sensitivity. So I always like to take that off. And you can see it's a very buzzy. It doesn't sound like it's a sample. So you don't hear that aliasing. So that was like one of the first things I liked about it. The next thing is that I like is that I can easily go and change it to a monophonic. Now so I mean, you can really play along with that thing. And the interesting thing is that you want to know is that if you go to the mixer, you will see that both of the faders are turned on as far as oscillator 1, oscillator 2. So if you turn that down, you get both. So I'm going to take that, and we're going to drop the chorus down an octave. Now we got a... But we need a little bit more volume there, so I want to go to the envelope and see where we can find some volume there. Okay. And you got a little bit of gain here, but if you just turn that up, it just messes with the filter. So if you turn up that modulator or the mod up on the envelope. So right now we have the ADSR envelope on there. We can change it to the attack release envelope, which is over here. And that's the key thing to understand, is that if you click on either one, so if you got that one, if it's highlighted that way, you got this envelope generator. And if you got this one, you got that one. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of gain here. And let's add a little bit of filter action right there. So we're going to go to the filter block. Let's bring that cutoff down. So, and that filter, we want to change that to ADSR right there. So let's go ahead and, yeah, there we go. But we want to kind of let it ride just a little bit. But you have to kind of be careful how you play it, because it doesn't quite glide through. So, and this may be something I missed, and maybe you can let me know. See that? So if I'm playing one note, so now this is the same issue I had with the Behringer Poly D, was that if I'm glissandoing, so if I go up a note in glissando, you trigger the envelope, and even if you do change the note, so maybe if I try a different envelope. So let's see, let's experiment. let's go ahead and put that filter on the AR envelope, and let's put the let's see if we can modify that a little bit. But the problem is that if you use the AR envelope on your filter, there's no sustain level. It's either all the way open or all the way closed. So let's go back to this one. Cool. Another cool thing is that you can add some effects there. You can add some sustain in that. And they'll keep blinging there. And you can also synchronize that to a tempo if you want to. And let's open up that, let that sound ring in just a little bit more. So as you can see, I like how this sounds. This is more of a funkier kind of thing. But I mean, you can kind of go sub bass with it. You can really detune, have fun with these. You know, add a little bit of a little bit more subharmonic by changing the oscillator to the square. You can change that by the mixer. It's interesting because you can't select your waveform in the oscillator channel. You have to go to the mixer and select it there. And of course, if you want more bass, you can just add some EQ. But this thing sounds really good out the box. You got 4 voices, right? I mean, you can really play some nice chords with that. So let's see if I can play with that a little bit. Bring up that sustain. Bring that volume down just a little bit. And here I was kind of a little detuned, so let me see if I can see there's a little bit more there. I mean, you really can play around with this and do a lot of great things with it. And you can, I mean, it's all there. But it has that cheesy analog. That analog. And you know, if I were to speak in retrospect for this, I think this is a really cool plugin. And I think that you really do need to have some presets set up for this thing so you don't go through the whole process of tweaking it from scratch, so you can speed up your workflow a little bit. And this tells me right here that there's nothing stopping Akai working with some company to develop a Moog. It's on the way. I'm calling it right now. There's going to be a Moog. There's going to be a Moog software plugin on this thing. I'm calling it right now. I'm predicting it. Don't tell me it can't be done, because if you can emulate an Odyssey, you can emulate a Moog. They're probably saving that for a later update. And I definitely see that happening. Another cool thing about this is that you can add arpeggiators to this, effects. You can sample this, resample this. You can do whatever you want to do. And that's what I like, is that you have more flexibility and more options that you actually need. This is like FL Studio, because, you know, FL Studio, you got so much stuff in there that you may not even know it's there, and you can do it. And I see that even in standalone mode, everything you see me doing here can be done standalone, away from the computer, out in the field. And it's starting to go that direction with the audio interface capabilities. The plugin is off the chain. That's my review of the Odyssey synthesizer. Out.